Hi, hello, and welcome to day 3 of Vlogmas. My name is Rose, and I am on a weight loss journey. So today, I really wanted to sit down and talk about decision fatigue. If you've ever gone and transformed your life, you know that that is the absolute bane of most people's existence, making decisions all day, every day. You get to the end of the day, you are burnt out, you don't want to make anymore, and then you fall off the proverbial wagon, and then you just beat yourself up. For me, that happens often. By the end of the day, I don't care. I don't care about what I'm eating for dinner. I don't necessarily have the willpower to figure out what we're having for dinner. And oftentimes it'll just be, screw it, and let's go get fast food. Which is it's not exactly helpful when you're trying to keep on track. So for me, I am implementing 5 things to really attempt to get me through this initial transition phase until my routines and stuff are established. So the first thing that is going to be really helpful while I'm starting over is planning ahead. So for us, that really looks like planning dinners. For me, I am the type of person that will be happy to eat the same thing every single morning. So for me, I already know that's going to look like bacon, eggs, maybe some pork sausage, and that's going to be my morning. Lunch, if I'm hungry, is going to be a mixture of like 5 different options. So it's really just what sounds best that day. As I start the tax season, I will be obviously meal planning my lunches. However, dinners is where I struggle. By the end of the day, I am done with decisions working. I have dealt with mom duties. I'm chronically ill, so all of those kind of small decisions for my health's sake throughout the day, have depleted me. I am done. I am fatigued. I don't care. So we are going to be meal planning over the weekends. So what that looks like is my husband and I will be sitting down and planning what dinners we're going to be having Monday through Friday. Potentially the weekends, we'll see how that feels. But that's going to be me picking a protein. Typically that is going to be a red meat, pork or chicken. My husband is in charge of figuring out what kind of veggie dishes he wants to pair with it, because I am working my way back to carnivore because that's what my body feels best doing. And then we will either pair that with either rice or chicken or a tortilla situation if we're doing like quesadillas or whatever. So we have something for each person in a household that I know that they will eat, which is super important when you have an autistic 3-year-old in the house. She has very set textures that she is amenable to trying, so we try to give her at least one aspect of every meal that she's good. And if it's not, I will then make her a separate meal entirely, which is an entirely different decision in and of itself. So she has her rotation of meals that I can run through when she's not wanting to eat what I'm making for the adults. And those are all planned out on the weekends. I have my shopping list done. I have my recipes decided. And we're good. So far, the last couple of weeks, that's worked really well. And now that the holidays are over, we can really start working on the routines of everything, at least until Christmas and the routines get all fuddled again. However, so we are planning ahead. We are making decisions. we're making the hardest decisions first. At least for me, these are the hardest decisions. So I am making all of these larger decisions first thing in the morning and or one day a week, so I don't have to think about it the rest of the time. So on the meals that need all day to cook, those will get prepped in the morning, which will be a slight change to my routine, but that's expected. I know the night before what I need to grab for the next dinner, and if that requires me putting everything out on the counter, that's one less decision to make the next day. I'm going to be setting routines. So having an autistic child in the house, we thrive on routines. It gets boring, that's okay. We have a set morning routine, and then she goes off to school. Right now, I am waiting for tax season to start, so I am doing classes and getting everything ready for that, so I have a set routine. What I will be adding into that routine is exercise and weights, which is the hard part for me because like I said, I'm chronically ill. Sometimes that doesn't happen. But we are going to attempt to shift my routine even earlier to kind of make room for a 30-minute body movement situation in the mornings. Now, I have set routines specifically for different chronic days. So on the days when it is snowing outside, like it is today, my body cannot. So on days like today when it's snowy outside, my body is broken. I have really no capacity to do a whole lot, so my routines are a lot more simple. Because I am really going to focus on feeding myself properly to give my body the best possible way to survive, and I'm going to be saving my energy for my daughter. So we are really going to have simplified routines and really just stick to the bare essentials, and we're going to save a lot of my energy for cooking that final meal, because that does take some energy for me, and it's really hard to admit, but it is my reality. Is I have to budget how much energy I have, and that really determines what kind of choices I'm making, how I'm making them, when I make them. When I have to delegate, I don't like it because I like the control. But I'm having to more and more delegate like the older my child gets, because I don't have the spoons for it all, which is totally fine. So use reminders and checklists. So for me, I have running checklist tallies, reminders everywhere. You can see behind me, I have my Kanban board. That is my absolute brain for most things. I have reminders on my fridge. I have reminders in my bathroom. I have them everywhere because my brain kind of squirrels, and if I'm having a really bad brain fog kind of day, nothing's staying. So set yourself reminders, set yourself checklists. If you're having a hard time building routines, set alarms on your phone. Make those decisions so much easier. And again, make the hardest decisions in the morning. If you have phone calls and you hate making phone calls, do those first thing in the morning. Because by the end of the day, you're not going to want to. You're going to go, oh, it can wait. That really can wait till tomorrow. Okay, offload it. And if that's how you need to operate, do that too. If it can wait until tomorrow and not going to, cause panic later, put it on tomorrow's to-do. That's okay. Simplify the choices you need to make today. What is your priority? Okay, and the last thing I am going to be really focusing on is giving myself some grace. So for that, for me, it really means if I'm having a bad body day, it's okay to do less. It's okay to go, hey, hun, I need you to make the dinner tonight. Gosh, I know it's really not optimal, but I absolutely cannot, and we're gonna swing and grab something on the way home. It's not ideal, but if it can fit in what you're doing, what you're tracking, and as long as you're not going overboard, don't worry about it. I know that goes completely opposite to a weight loss journey, but at the same time, if your body needs you to pivot, then you really need to listen to that, because doing all of this means nothing if it's not sustainable for you. And for me, you know, the well-being of my body being able to function tomorrow is more important than being perfect today. You know, and my child's ability to have a mom who can play with her at the end of the day, you know, regardless of my weight, is more important than anything else. So really give yourself grace. Be nice to yourself. It's super important to have that positive self-talk that feeds into, you know, the amount of choices you can make throughout the day. When you're happier, you have a little bit more pep in your step, making those decisions feels less daunting. It feels so much easier. So decision fatigue is really awful. It's something that I am working through, that I struggle with. It doesn't have to be the supervillain in your story. It can be something that you can use to your advantage. It can be something that does not have to be something that you need to work around or that you need to feel ashamed of. It's something that happens to everyone, and learning your limits and then being able to work with them and not against them is so pivotal. So thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you that gets to this point. Again, if you wouldn't mind giving me a like, a subscribe, I would really appreciate it. It would so help me out. And I will see you tomorrow.